As she said, my name is Dallas Snell, and I am a person in long-term recovery. And what does that mean? It means that for 30 years, I struggled with alcohol use. I had multiple legal issues, in and out of the court system, in and out of substance use treatment programs, individual counseling, group counseling, 12-step programs, smart recovery. But finally, after 30 long years, I was able to achieve a stable and sustainable recovery, with this past August 6th marking 4 years of sobriety for me. Now I'm off on my 5th year. Now, a huge part of my successful recovery was my decision to walk away from a career of over 30 years in the software technology field and pursue a new life direction, a direction that fills me with a deep, deep sense of meaning and purpose. And that direction is the field of peer recovery support services. So, what is recovery? SAMHSA defines recovery as a process of change through which individuals improve their health and wellness, live self-directed, purposeful lives, and strive to reach their full potential. The Addiction Recovery Communities of California says, recovery means having a sense of well-being, a high quality of life, and some sort of community engagement or sense of citizenship, as well as some kind of sobriety. Now, whatever your definition for recovery is, the point is that recovery is an experience and an improved life, not just a goal that you reach. Recovery is living a life based on principles such as hope, choice, freedom, and aspirations. Recovery is a process, not a state of being or an end goal. It's an ongoing journey to improve the state of our life. And I, as a peer recovery support specialist, am someone that helps people achieve and maintain that life of recovery. Now, they've called us by a lot of different names around the country. Some places they're known as peer recovery coaches. Some places recovery support peer specialists. Some places certified peer recovery mentors. The title that we're going to use here at TPOR is Peer Recovery Support Specialist. And you may have noticed that all of those titles had 2 words in common: recovery, which we just talked about, and peer. Now, what's a peer? A peer is someone that is your equal, someone at your own level. And that's why the #1 job requirement for us peer recovery specialists is lived experience. As peers, we must have lived our own challenges with substance use and mental health issues. It is through these shared experiences that we establish credibility and connection with our peers. And the number 2 job requirement is that we are living our own recovery. It is through our own successful recovery that we become a role model. We become a beacon of hope for our peers that are early in their own recovery. Now, we don't call the people we work with clients. We don't call them patients. They are our peers. And we serve as a trusted source of understanding, support, and mentoring. And we collaborate with our peers to help them set goals, help them learn new skills, help them build strengths, and we, together with them, monitor their progress and connect them to other recovery resources throughout their community that can help support their own pathway of recovery. And speaking of pathways of recovery, peer coaching is non-directive and supports whatever pathway to recovery that a peer has chosen for themselves. Some of those pathways, as you can see listed here, include clinical treatment, which is supervised professional counseling, as you may find available at clinics or rehab centers, 12-step programs, which are non-supervised programs such as AA, NA, CA, DRA, and many other A's. Faith-based programs, which are grounded in a religion or a faith tradition. Medication-assisted recovery, which is supported by prescription medications such as methadone and others. Harm reduction programs, which involve strategies to help individuals manage their substance use to minimize harmful consequences. And then natural recovery, which involves ceasing drug or alcohol use on one's own, often with support from friends and family, or any combination of all of the above. Now, peer recovery specialists can work independently with the peer, or we can work together as part of a team. That team could include treatment counselors, 12-step sponsors, doctors, family members, and others. Some people wonder, well, what a peer support specialist does that's different from a 12-step sponsor or different from a treatment counselor. This table lists some of those differences. For example, a peer recovery support specialist must have personal lived experience with substance use and recovery, as well as additional training. As I said a moment ago, we support multiple pathways to recovery. We do not provide counseling or therapy, nor do we even generally give specific advice unless it's in the context of our own lived experience. We are supervised by designated peer supervisors who monitor our work with our peers for both performance and ethical responsibility. We also work with peers either short-term, medium-term, or long-term, based on their needs and desires. We are non-directive. We don't decide a peer's recovery pathway. We do not dictate their plan, and in general, we avoid direct advice. We coach the peer to be self-directive in defining their own recovery plan. And speaking of recovery plans, you can see listed here about almost a dozen life domains covering every major area of our lives. You know, from our finances to our housing, to our medical care, to our substance use, et cetera, et cetera. And as a peer recovery support specialist, we work with our peers to go over all these life domains to find out which ones they already have strengths in and they don't need much help, which ones they do need some assistance and growth in, and then the ones that they do need some assistance in, we sort them and rank them as of their priority. They're the ones who decide which ones they want to work on first. And then once they've identified the domains that they want to work on first, we help them identify the specific goals that they may want to achieve in that domain. And then we also talk to them about what challenges they've had with meeting those goals, and we put them in the plan. We then help them identify any strengths that they have that are already associated with this domain or related domains that they can then apply to this domain when they've had challenges. And then most importantly, we help them identify the plan, the script, each of the steps that they can then work to follow. And then week after week, month after month, in some cases a year or more, we help them make adjustments to that plan as they continue to see what works and what they may still need to adjust.